All right, so I have these NECA Universal style monster figures where a lot of people wanted them to look like the classic ones, which was like a Dracula and a werewolf, I think. I forgot what the other two were. And I got the Frankenstein's monster Raphael first about 6 months ago. I have a review somewhere in my channel where I talk about how cool he is. And really, you were going to want these once the rest came out. And once you saw them all together, you were going to like say to yourself, I need them. Now, I don't have the Invisible Man Donatello. I don't like the Splinter as Van Helsing. I don't think it makes any sense to have Splinter hunting down essentially his sons. I felt like Shredder should have definitely been Van Helsing. Would have made so much sense. Or even Casey Jones as Van Helsing, because he did have a scuff with Raphael, and it just would have kind of made sense in a little way. Like, hey, he's against them now. Would have been fun, but it makes no sense to have Splinter as Van Helsing, so I don't think I'm going to grab him. I am going to grab Donatello. My only gripe with this trio here is the box art for Leonardo has, I mean, it's a render, and it has the eyebrows real fluffy and red, and the beard is a lot longer. His beard is like barely there, and mine has kind of a wonky eye, but he's a freaking deformed hunchback. Doesn't bother me that much. I think it would have made more sense for Leo to be like Dracula. Dracula is the leader of the monsters. Leo is the leader of the turtles, in a sense. That would have made more sense, but we're not there. We're here. And I think these are cool and fun and quirky and everything I like about toys. Which brings me to today. Here's a release that I do think this makes sense because it's the Bride of Frankenstein was a nice female character, and here's a female figure. They got the mold already, but I got it because I had a gift card for Christmas, and then here I am. I might as well get all of them, even maybe that Splinter I said I wasn't going to get. That's just how toy collecting works. But I want to crack this open, tell you immediately what I don't like, and I'll tell you what I do like, and that's coming up now. So at first glance, we have a fun, really cool Bride of Frankenstein, April O'Neil, and she goes so well with the Frankenstein. This is what I call my new catchphrase for 2023. This is when figures are like peanut butter and jelly, where having them together is just perfect. Reese's Peanut Butter's cup, you know? And at first glance, she's great. But my big gripe is this. I know how NECA operates. I know how Mezco operates. I know how all these companies operate. They want to do whatever they can to cut costs on making a figure. And I totally get it. You need to make money. Sorry, I'm getting over a cold. The second head sculpt is basically just her kind of smiling. And the first head sculpt is just like a resting bitch face. I'm sorry for cursing. So it's very boring. You know, she's reaching out with that hand. I like the detail in the electric staff for has the news station she works at. It needed the scream. It needed the Bride of Frankenstein iconic scream. And I'm shocked because NECA gets that. NECA takes pride in capturing things in their essence, capturing things that we all recognize them from. And, you know, all these companies to make these figures a quote-unquote ultimate, well, what makes it ultimate is, and I think NECA is the first company to do this with their horror figures, they give you an extra head, they give you extra hands, and they give you accessories. This is gruesome, too. There's like an eye in there. I don't know if that picks up. And this rat has like a ear. Like these, like Frankenstein had to put the ear and eye on another living thing to get it alive. Really cool. But they pack in the accessories to get that price up to make you buy it for that ultimate price. Now, and I have proof of this because NECA released the Universal Monster line. And they're about $40 because they're ultimates. That same buck, that same figure was released at Target on a Remco Classic toy line where they glow in the dark. That same figure was $25 without the accessories. The point I'm getting to is I will probably leave her on the shelf like this forever. I probably won't change this head. That Raphael Frankenstein, I'm probably never going to use different hands. You could have just given us these quirky, unique figures in that card where you could have cut product cost down is what I'm getting to. This is a tough sell. I mean, you have to like both the Ninja Turtles and Universal Monsters. So I hope they made money off these because they're fun. And, you know, it's not always about making money. I know NECA is a different kind of company. You know, they make Richard Simmons figures, so they don't always care about making money because how many figures is Richard Simmons going to sell? And I respect that. I love that they just will make what they want to make. They just released Elton John. Like, how many toy collectors really are going to buy Elton John? But my point is, you know, you're going to want all 5 of these at $50, almost $50 a pop. That's a lot for something that's quirky and kind of kitschy is the word. But I don't hate it. I just hate that she doesn't have that screaming face. The resting bitch face is just boring. The kind of a smile face. You know, what they did was they took the original movie line April and just sculpted other stuff on top of her to keep costs down. And it is what it is. You can see she still has the ugly knees, the old knees. April old knees, but they fit on her. It's a monster. She's a monster. Anyway, I like the figure. Don't get me wrong. Like I said in that video from like 6 months ago, once you have all these together, man, it's really gonna, it really is something special and something different, while familiar. I love that about this. We all know who these characters are, but to see them in turtle form makes them so odd. And there is a lot of detail packed into all these guys. And that's that. Have fun. I got another one coming up in about 5 minutes. But I guess to you, if you saw that first and this first, none of that makes sense. Anyway, yeah, take care.